statement published. Law and order will not deteriorate ahead of polls, remarks Home Advisor. Country will be divided into red, yellow and green zones to control law and order during elections. Bangladesh sends formal letter to India to repatriate Sheikh Hasina. Verdict in Raju plot graft case against Sheikh Hasina, Shoji Budget Joy and Saima Wajid Putul to be declared on November the 27th. US claims to make significant progress on crafting plan to end Russia-Ukraine war during talks with Ukrainian and European officials. And India will take on Chinese Taipei in the final of second Women's Kabaddi World Cup in Dhaka today. Now the details. The visit of Bhutanese Prime Minister Shering Tobgay to Bangladesh has reaffirmed the deep-rooted friendship and goodwill that have long shaped bilateral relations. This was disclosed at a joint statement issued yesterday. The statement said, Chief Advisor Professor Dr. Muhammad Yunus and Bhutanese Prime Minister Shering Tobgay reaffirmed the commitment and cooperation at international, regional and sub-regional platforms like SAARC, BIMSTEC, based on principles of shared values, mutual respect, understanding, cooperation and a common aspiration for peace and prosperity. It further said the two leaders expressed satisfaction with establishment of joint working group to facilitate development of Bhutanese Special Economic Zone in Kurigram and welcomed the ongoing collaborative efforts. Both sides expressed satisfaction with the status of implementation of the agreement on movement of traffic in transit, noting that trial run of goods transport from Chattogram port to Burimari land port is being completed. Bangladesh proposed supplying pharmaceutical products to Bhutan on a government-to-government basis. Both sides acknowledged that such cooperation would enhance Bhutan's access to affordable and quality healthcare supplies. Bhutan's visiting Prime Minister Shering Tobgay paid a courtesy call on President Mohammad Shahabuddin at Bongo Bhavan yesterday. The President welcomed the Bhutanese Prime Minister and expressed hope that the friendly relations between the two countries would deepen further in the days ahead. He said cooperation in trade, business, hydropower, education and healthcare would be strengthened. The Bhutanese Prime Minister thanked Bangladesh for increasing seats for Bhutanese students in medical colleges and for reserving seats in engineering universities. He praised Bangladesh's development and progress and expressed optimism that bilateral relations would continue to grow. Home Advisor Lieutenant General Retired Mohammad Jahangir Alam Chaudhry said, law and order situation across the country has improved over the past 1.5 years and there is no scope for it to deteriorate ahead of next general election. He made the remarks while responding to journalists after attending the regular core committee meeting on law and order at the Secretariat in the capital yesterday. The Home Advisor said election rallies and processions will increase as the polls draw nearer. On earthquake preparedness, he urged caution and said authorities are working to develop an early warning system. Home Advisor also emphasized on strict adherence to building codes and urged Raju to carefully review proposals for buildings on filled-in water bodies. Election Commission Senior Secretary Akhtar Ahmed said the country's law and order situation will be controlled by dividing it into 3 zones, red, yellow and green in the upcoming national election. He said this to media as Commonwealth Secretary General Shirley Bojway met with Chief Election Commissioner CEC AMM Nasiruddin at the Election Commission headquarters in the capital yesterday. The EC Senior Secretary said Commonwealth is ready to extend any form of assistance to Bangladesh in holding the upcoming 13th National Parliament election. He said the delegation expressed optimism that historic inclusion of expatriate voters in Bangladesh's election would be successfully implemented. Bangladesh has sent official letter to India requesting repatriation of ousted former Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who has been sentenced to death for crimes against humanity committed during July mass uprising. Foreign Advisor Mohammad Tawhid Hussain informed this to Newsman yesterday. He said the Foreign Ministry sent the letter directly to New Delhi last Friday. A Dhaka court set November 27th for pronouncing judgment in 3 cases filed against 47 individuals, including ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, her son Shoji Budget Joy, and daughter Saima Wajid Putul over alleged irregularities in Raju plot allocation. Judge Muhammad Abdullah Al Mamun of Dhaka Special Judge Court 5 set the date as both prosecution and defense concluded their arguments in cases yesterday. Dhaka Special Judge Court 5 had framed charges in the cases and issued arrest warrants against the accused on July 31st this year. This is Bangladesh Betar giving you the news. This news will also be available on our website at www.betar.gov.pd. National Board of Revenue (NBR) issued a special order extending deadline for filing income tax returns for individual taxpayers for tax year 2025-26 by 1 month. The new deadline is now 31st December of this year. NBR has also issued another order allowing taxpayers unable to submit online returns due to registration-related issues in the e-return system to apply to the respective Deputy Commissioners of Taxes by 15 December, providing specific justification. This year, online filing of income tax return has been made mandatory for all categories of individual taxpayers except senior citizens aged 65 years or above, physically disabled or specially able taxpayers, Bangladeshi taxpayers residing abroad, legal representatives filing on behalf of deceased taxpayers, and foreign nationals working in Bangladesh. US said it has made significant progress on crafting a plan to end the Russia-Ukraine war during talks with Ukrainian and European officials in Switzerland. US Secretary of State Marco Rubio yesterday said work remained to be done on questions including role of NATO and security guarantees for Ukraine. Head of Ukraine's delegation, Andriy Yermak, echoed Rubio's sentiments and said they were moving forward to the just and lasting peace Ukrainian people deserve. Russian President Vladimir Putin said the blueprint could lay the foundation for a final peace settlement, but threatened more land seizures if Ukraine walked away from the negotiations. Kabaddi in India will face Chinese Taipei in the second Women's Kabaddi World Cup at Shahid Sohrawardi Indoor Stadium at Mirpur in Dhaka. Early in the first semi-final yesterday, defending champion India defeated Iran by 33-21 points. Football in Bangladesh will face Brunei in the second match of the AFC Under-17 Asia Cup qualifiers in China today. The match is scheduled to start at 5 p.m. Bangladesh time. Cricket and host Bangladesh whitewashed visiting Ireland in a two-match test series yesterday. In the last and fifth day of the second test, Tigers beat Ireland by 217 runs at Mirpur Sher-e-Bangla National Stadium. Final scores: Bangladesh 476 and 297 for 4 declared, Ireland 265 and 291 for all. Dhaka Meteorological Office says the low pressure over South Andaman Sea and adjoining area intensified into a well-marked low over the same region. It is likely to move west-northwestwards and intensify further. All fishing boats and trawlers over North Bay have been advised not to venture into deep sea till further notice. Meanwhile, forecast by Little One this afternoon says there is no inland river port warning and no signal is to be hoisted. To end the news, the main points again. Bhutan Prime Minister's visit reaffirms enduring Dhaka-Thimphu ties. Joint statement published. Law and order will not deteriorate ahead of polls, remarks Home Advisor. Country will be divided into red, yellow and green zones to control law and order during elections. Bangladesh sends formal letter to India to repatriate Sheikh Hasina, informing International Crime Tribunal's verdict. Verdict in Raju plot graft case against Sheikh Hasina, Shoji Wajid Choi and Saima Wajid Putul to be declared on November the 27th. US claims to make significant progress on crafting plan to end Russia-Ukraine war during talks with Ukrainian and European officials. And India will take on Chinese Taipei in the final of second Women's Kabaddi World Cup in Dhaka today. That's the end of the news. This news will also be available on our website at www.betar.gov.pd. Our next bulletin will be at 9 this morning in Bangla.
ট্রাফিক সম্প্রচার কার্যক্রম বাংলাদেশ বেতার এফএম 88.8 মেগাহার্টজ।
কত মিনিট হইল? খবর 10 মিনিট খবর শুনলেন, ইংরেজি খবর। এর মধ্যে কি বলছে? ট্যাক্স অনলাইন বাধ্যতামূলক ডিসেম্বর 31 বাড়িয়ে দিয়েছে। কি জানি টাকা থিম্বু নাকি ভুটান, নিজের পররাষ্ট্র নীতি নাই, ভারতের নিয়ন্ত্রিত। ভারত আস্তে আস্তে গিলছে, বাংলাদেশ তো গিলে ভাড়াইছিল বললে আর কি, কেমনে কেমনে ঠুকদার হইল আর কি। তো এখন দুর্নীতি, ঘুষ, দুর্নীতিগ্রস্ত যারা আছে, পলিটিশিয়ান, আয় রোজগার নাই, দুর্নীতি করে খায়। দুর্নীতিগ্রস্ত সিভিল, মিলিটারি, ব্যুরোক্রেসি যারা সুবিধাভোগী সবাই না ভালো আছে। দুর্নীতিগ্রস্ত নষ্ট তথাকথিত বুদ্ধিজীবী, আইনজীবী, এগুলো মরজীবী টরজীবী যত কিছু আছে, ব্যবসায়ী, এরা তো দুর্নীতি বন্ধ করবে না, দুর্নীতির সুবিধাভোগী এরা। তা আমরা কীভাবে দুর্নীতি বন্ধ করতে পারি, এটাই আমি বলবো, এখনই বলবো। 10 সেকেন্ডে আমি ফিরে আসতেছি, তার কারণ 10 মিনিট ইংরেজি খবর শুনছেন। ঘুষ বন্ধ করার জন্য আমাদের হাতে কী কী সহজ উপায় আছে, এটা আমার মাথায় আসলো সকালে। এখন বলে না দিলে থাকবে না মনে, আর লিখবো কই এই বয়সে, 67 বছর বয়স। আমি ফিরে, যারা ইংরেজি খবর শুনছেন তারা জয়েন করতে পারেন। এখনই ফিরছি। ঘুষ বন্ধ করার সহজ উপায় আমাদের জনগণের হাতে কী কী আছে সেইটাই। উন্নত দেশগুলোতে ঘুষ কীভাবে বন্ধ হয়েছে, এবং উন্নত দেশগুলোর যে ডাইলেমা, মানে দুই দিকে ধার, তো সেটা কি, তারা যে এখনও উন্নত দেশ মানে শিল্পায়িত দেশ, উন্নত আমি বলি না, ধনীও বলি না, দুর্নীতিগ্রস্ত লোক, এগুলোর টার্ম পরিবর্তন করতে হবে আমাদের। আমি এখনই ফিরতেছি, তো আমি ব্যাক ক্যামেরা দেবো, প্লিজ ডোন্ট মাইন্ড। তো না, এভাবে বলতে পারি, অসুবিধা নেই। থাকবেন 10 সেকেন্ডের মধ্যে। আই কাম ব্যাক এগেইন টু ইউ।